This guy's stupid. You guys stupid, man.
Shit, man. All right, brother.
Bro, that sound like down camera, man.
Brother, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the journey, man. So,
Go ahead.
take two. Because we thought we were recording, but, some technical difficulties. But here we are, continuing with the process. Karebo Wilson, welcome to the journey. Man, people might not know this, but you and I know we've been boys since late 2000s. I want to say '09. That's when we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been rocking through the ups and downs. We've been boys, man, for 15 years now plus,
Right.
And we don't have, I don't have a lot of friends, and I know you don't have a lot of friends either. One thing I learned about in life is like, it's not about the quantity of friends that you have, but the quality,
Right.
And I truly hope that every single person living has a best friend who they can share,
Right.
they can be themselves with and share everything, the pains and the beauty of life.
Right.
Someone they can share with besides your significant other,
Right.
So man, welcome to the journey. If you can start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, my name's Karebo Wilson, as you said, and thank you for having me as a guest. And I'm glad you're doing all this stuff. Just want to, just recognize you as, putting this together. I know it's a lot of work, but somebody has to do it, and I'm glad it's you, right? And just to go off of, friendship, like I always go with the words destiny relationship, right? Most of us, we go through life not knowing what that means, right? Some of us crave attention from the wrong people because we never receive as kids, right? And some of us crave the wrong thing just because the society demands it. But in terms of friendship, I always value our friendship in terms of destiny, right? God already, kind of, put it in perspective where He said, you know what, this is gonna be one of your guy, and I recognize that is you, right? So you know, what's
Way to ruin a nice moment.
bro?
No,
Yo, is that gonna work?
no, we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it.
Anyway.
No, we gotta give it.
Well, that's my guy, man.
No, that's it.
Hey, man. Hey,
No, we gotta keep it. You know what?
Anyway.
You know what? I'm
Anyway.
like, you know what? I've never seen you this serious. And I know, like,
I'm a serious guy.
Because that's why I'm laughing, dude. Because I've never seen him this
Tell me
serious.
low, man.
Huh?
Tell me low.
Well, he knows this.
Tell
You
me
know
low,
what I'm
man.
saying? But anyway.
Tell me low,
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Listen,
Tell me low.
listen.
Anyways.
All right, bro.
You know
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
go.
saying?
Your composure.
Right. Bro,
Go ahead, bro.
we
Go.
basically, in a way, we're here,
Yeah.
That's your brother.
You guys are an idiot.
That's your brother. That's your brother.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So let's proceed. Anyway.
Bro, we talking about your
Well,
bro.
I got to end, on the end note, basically, that's my relationship. You actually one of those guys. So I'm thankful and grateful. Now, to tell you about my where I come from. Well, I'm from Tanzania. It's in East Africa. I was born in a little village called Musowora, January 22nd, in 1996.
Yeah.
We moved to a village called Ukole. That's what it was a refugee camp. Then we just we was there for the next 12 years. We came to the United States '07, and since then, we've been here, Syracuse, New York, haven't really, moved around anywhere, but they go to school here. Went to finish my elementary, then middle school, then high school, went on to college, graduated. I can say I'm very blessed to be in this position and to be here and be alive today. Because now a lot of people got the chance, right? Because we know we come from war-torn countries, and then most of us escaped, or we so-called our parents went through a lot, and some of us, we see the kind of struggle that they went through, and we want to do better for us and them, right? So with that note, it is very imperative for us to keep in mind that we're not doing this for ourselves, but for the greater good,
Yeah.
right? So basically, that's basically my whole background. I mean, I couldn't go in details, but
Yeah.
it
So
would be
so we'll get because you cover a lot in 2 minutes you introduction. I'm gonna dig deep into some of those things you bring up. So we're gonna talk about your name because I know your name is Wilson, and I think you and I've asked you before, how did you become Wilson? Because Wilson is an English name. So I think you said you changed your name to Wilson. Can you talk about a little bit about your
Oh,
name
yeah.
change? What was that whole process?
So let's say when I went to school,
Mm-hmm.
so my both name is Karebo and Ndikij, right? So Ndikij is my grandfather's name, who died 2-3 years ago, about around that. Yeah. So we all know culturally we all given a name from like kind of like the family.
Right.
So they gave it to they gave me my grandfather's name. I like the name. It's my middle name right now, but I changed Wilson because it was harder for the people for me to say it, and also like having a choice to, when they told me I had a choice to change my name, I said this is good. I never really had this choice, so I capitalized. I said I'm going to change. I'm going to take the name and change it to Wilson, and then Wilson came from because my dad is Wilson, right? So his name is Milk Wilson, so I end up becoming Karebo Wilson.
Yeah.
That's that.
So you changed your name when you became a citizen. Then
100%.
when did you become a citizen of the U.S.?
Let me see. I don't remember the exact year,
Yeah.
but I know I had to go through the process. I know I was it was after I turned age 18,
Yeah.
and I know I have to go through all the process.
Yeah.
So let me see, 18. So probably about
You don't gotta remember. It's not.
yeah.
That's
So
why I just wanted to. It's not important.
so
Yeah.
about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you can assume.
Yeah.
And it was good. I went through. It was pretty easy for me, obviously.
Yeah.
It wasn't that difficult.
Yeah.
We're a citizen now. It's nice, and it's also nice to belong to a country too, because for me, I still believe, even though I'm Burundian, right? I never been there.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to say, I have citizenship to a place you never been.
Can't relate.
I couldn't relate, right? So being in a place where you can say, I actually work hard to become a citizen, it's nice. It's something that a lot of people don't really have. Like I say, for most of us, we have that. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How big is your family? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Well, my family is pretty big. 5 sisters, and then including me, it's 5. It's 4 brothers with me, 5. So
Yeah.
we're 10.
10 people total.
Yeah.
Where are you in the ranking?
I'm the 4th from the oldest. Yeah, I'm the 4th. Yeah.
So you guys came in 07. Did you come all together, all of you? All your siblings came together?
Nobody was left behind.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nobody was left behind.
Yeah.
All the kids, we all came as a family.
Yeah.
And my grandparents actually came a year after we came.
Oh, yeah. You came in 08.
Yeah.
No, we came in 08.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys all like I know because how many of them are have families? How many of them are married from your siblings? So I know some are.
My older brother, my two older brothers, and my older sister are married.
Yeah,
You know, they have what? They have kids too.
yeah,
I don't three. Well, yeah, I don't think that's really important, but they have kids right now. They have
yeah.
their own
That's what I
families.
said. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is nice. You
Yeah.
know, it's a big family, brother.
yeah,
You know, Wilson generation will live for a long time.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, man. It's a blessing to have kids, man. One thing I realized about this, we're not having kids, man. Like when my dad was my age, he was telling me that he had 2 or 3 kids. You know what I mean? And I'm sure when your dad was your age, he probably had,
Yeah.
production
Right.
factory going.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know, people like us. Why do you think that? Why are we taking our time these days, man? Why is it that our parents were like getting married young, having kids? Why is it that our generation, especially like first, because if we were in Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure we have kids by now. You know,
Right.
but like, you know, why do you think that this country has
Well,
stopped us from
I mean, the country,
procreating?
the country haven't really stopped us from procreating. It's us,
Yeah.
it's us adapting to the environment.
Mm.
Plus, you can't really have 10 kids here right now without having the necessary resources to take care of them, right? So you need to be smarter. It's not necessary that you have to have you can still have the kids. You can still have 10 kids, but are you going to be able to take care of them? That's the question. Now, back home, you know, like, yeah, they could still, you know, financially they was able to take care of them, but also emotionally they wasn't. So, and then it all goes back to your belief system, right? What do you believe? You know, what is the purpose of a man and a woman? You know, how does that, you know, play into the bigger picture, right? Like our parents, just having kids is good. It is beautiful, right? But also having kids when you can't take care of them is not good. That's my question. You know, I believe that if you have the capability to, we all have the, you know, most of us at least, if you don't have no, you know, let's say condition that prevent you from having kids, most of us can absolutely have kids. Even right now, if you wanted to, you can go have kids. But are you in the position to take care of them, right? Emotionally, physically, financially, right? Having 10 kids right here, right now, my friend, you're not going to be able to take care of them. You're going to be stressed out. You might even die prematurely because it's too much on your head, right? Now, what I realized here when I came here, you know, the people from here, they have like 1 or 2 kids, but guess what? They spend time with them, right? They actually dedicate the time, they call it quality time, right? And then most of us did not really have that, right? Like we had, what we had, we was, the way the kids, the way our parents, I think, when I look at it, it's like, okay, we're in a war, we're going to have as many kids as we can, and whoever survives going to carry out the legacy. That's how I look at it, right? Which, you know what I'm saying? So let's keep having kids. Whoever survives going to carry on the legacy, right? That's first of all, for me, that's how I look at it. But here, you know, yes, a kid can die, you know, we can die, but it's not really, we're not really in a physical war. It's a different kind of war, you know, which can be managed. So here it's like, I think the most important thing is to always, you know, as a father, as a mother, you have duties, you have responsibilities. As long as you can uphold those responsibilities, and I think it's okay to go ahead and have the kids. But if you can't, don't even do it because you're setting up yourself for failure. You know, that's what I think.
So you're saying that, so in your view, there are prerequisites to having kids.
100%.
And you mentioned financial fitness,
100%.
physical fitness,
100%.
and emotional fitness.
100%.
Okay, so I understand the financial fitness
Right.
makes sense to me. Emotional fitness definitely makes sense to me. Why the physical fitness? Can a fat person Is a fit person not qualified to have kids?
I didn't.
I shouldn't say
I
fat.
mean, no.
Overweight,
I mean, like
you know?
I said, you can have kids,
So,
but if let's say, I'm not even talking about weight wise, right? I'm
yeah.
not talking about weight.
Yeah.
Talking about the ability to take care of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Health is important.
Right, right.
Cause, dude, if you think, you can be physically unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
And then still be able, let's say, emotionally, somewhat. But my thing is like they're all connected, right? Nothing is really like, so if you're physically fit, most likely you have developed the discipline to be somewhat, you have built good habits, right? To kind of transfer every habit that you build, certain thing that you build, it's transferable, right? For me, for example, right, the way I go about my life, I practice, I put myself through pain physically, right? Why do I do that? Because I want to see how hard my body can push. I want to push my body to the limit. Now, how that build me mentally, emotionally, mental toughness. Emotionally, I learned how my body adapts, right? I learned how to control my emotions. Let's say you said something about my body that I didn't like. I'm going to evaluate why did I feel that way. That's my emotional aspect. Now, if I don't have habits or if I don't have, certain things to regulate my emotions, I might be upset with you. I might say, why would you say that? I might take it personal. I might be sensitive. But now, if I've been practicing, certain things like that's the habits, I might take a step back and say, why did he say that? And why do I feel like this? Evaluate your feelings and be aware of how you feel and what you're feeling and how it's affecting you. Instead of reacting, just trying to respond. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really about, your weight, or how you look. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's important to be fit and healthy, but if that's not your goal, like who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody should aspire to be healthy. I'm a health coach. I'm a personal trainer. Like I tell everybody to be healthy because it's important. Because if you're not healthy, you're not gonna live long enough to see your kids grow. Older to have their kids, your grandkids. It's like it's important. If we talk, just health in general. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think maybe we should have started with that. Didn't mention it from the beginning, but you are a personal trainer, you
Yeah.
are a health coach,
Right.
and you are a fitness freak,
Yeah.
and you are very fit, you know, which I find admirable, So, and I think part of the reason why I wanted to have part of the reason why I really wanted to have you is to talk about that stuff that you do, stuff that you're very passionate about,
Yeah.
I remember because we went to high school, we ball together, played soccer together, and I wouldn't say that you were overweight. I wouldn't, but you were a big kid, and fast forward 3 years later, you went to Oswego, I went to RPI, and I remember coming to visit you. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
I was very because at that time when you were working out, you weren't even posting. Like you weren't active on social media when you first began this journey.
Right.
So I was very shocked when I saw you and I saw how
Right.
ripped you are. And then obviously, I realized later on how much work goes into it.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't know if you still do, but you're working out. At some point in time, you were working out twice a day, first in the morning and then also in the
Right.
evening. Is that still what you're doing?
Of course. I mean, for now, I'm on the show. I compete August
Yeah.
28th, so I still do 2 sessions. Sometimes 3, but most of the time it's 3, 2 a day. About 6 days a week, I'm trying to get a day. Even today I was supposed to be resting, but I went there to do some cardio and then some abs. Just to keep the habits. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep that momentum going. It's important. And plus, like for me, bodybuilding, that's what I do. Bodybuilding and I compete. It has become a lifestyle. It's like when I used to play soccer. I was very passionate about soccer, where it became a lifestyle. I woke up, I ran, I came home, I slept. I woke up, I went to play soccer. I came back, that's when before, we have any source of responsibilities, right? My goal was to be the best, player on the field, right? Right now, like the same principle still hold. My goal is to be the best bodybuilder that I can be, the best version of myself. Guess what? It comes back to those things I used to do when I was young. They're still carrying it on.
Yeah.
They even become, now it's becoming, it's very intentional.
Yeah.
Which is that's what that is. I wait, get up in the morning, do what I gotta do, regardless how I feel, because I know my goal is having a goal, right? Having the motivation, having the discipline to keep going,
Do you have a routine that do you go to bed a certain time and you wake up a certain time every single day?
Yeah, I mean,
What does that look like
for
for
the
you?
next for the past 4 months, I've been getting up at 4 a.m. I gotta do my cardio sessions in the morning, and then I also have to train my clients. And after that, come home. Sometimes I eat or fast, depending on how I feel. But now I'm fasting until 12 o'clock, because I need to manage my hunger. I get hungry later on during the day, so I tend to put my photos later on during the day. After I come home, get ready, shower, go to work until until what 8, until 4:30. I'll come back. My usually between my work hours, sometimes I'll get in a session in here and there, and then in the afternoon I go train more clients. Then by the time I go to bed, I get home around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9:30. I'm in bed. Then I gotta get up at 4 a.m. again.
Yeah.
It's everything for me is the same. Nothing ever changes. My thing is, if something is off, that day is not gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
So that's why the structure have to stay the same. Yes, life happens,
Yeah.
but that's why you learn how to manage your stress. You learn how to manage that. When that happens, you put things in place to manage your stress, all that kind of stuff, or
Yeah.
the things that are unpredictable,
Yeah.
that you can't really predict.
Are you just fasting today, or are you in a season of fasting? Is that just for
I
today?
mean, even right now, I haven't really eaten anything because I have few. I'm a resident. I have fewer meals, so I have like what, 4 small meals. So if I had to eat one, let's say in the morning, I'll be hungry right now, right? So when you get hungry, for me, when I get hungry, I get headaches. When I get headaches, because I'm low on food and energy, I can't really focus, right? But if I don't eat, I'm fine until I eat. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
So there's this saying that I don't know who said this, but there's a saying that I read somewhere. Maybe it was a meme or a quote or somewhere. I know it wasn't. Maybe it was came from a book that how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you watch these freak athletes who work out multiple times a day, who are bodybuilders, especially people like you who compete. People always say that that translate into your personal life,
right,
the relationship you have with your significant other, the relationship you have with your friends. It translates to how you carry out your professional work.
right.
If you found that to be the case?
It is true, 100%. At least for me, the way I look at it, I see myself not being around the same people I was 5, 10 years ago, right? Because the way I think now is different, right? I'm around people who actually motivates me, not people who bring me down, right? I'm around people that helps me succeed. My number one person is my lady. Sometimes, she helped me cook my food. That's very important when it comes to like what I do. She helped me manage my schedule. That's very important when it comes to what I do. She relieves you a lot of stress when it comes to what I do. So that is very big. Now, in terms of working out, it created a structure for me. So structure which carries out in my relationship. structure which carries out in a way, you know, I do everything. Second thing, standard. I have a standard. You know, even when I'm waiting on a friend, if we don't seem to have the same belief system or the same principle in a way we see life, I'm not gonna be friends with that person, because that person is not here for me. We're not here for each other, right? So that's also something that I learned through fitness. You know, but fitness is pretty big. You know, the moment you enter, the thing about fitness, the moment you enter and you start seeing what you can do, it's never enough, right? You become very addicted, just like how anything in life, when you see your vision, like you become very addicted to that thing that you go missing, and that's simply what happened to me. I have fewer friends because, you know, I don't have time to hang out with all the friends, and then the friends usually like the friend that I had before, you know, we all had something in common, right? But after I start focusing on fitness, that thing that we had in common kind of disappeared. So those were like friends, you know, seasonal friends.
Yeah.
You know, but like there's still destiny friends like you know, who I still, you know, speak to. And there's few more that I have who I still speak to, you know, very close to them. And then those people have become the family that I have chosen, right? And they support me in everything that I do. And when I'm messing up, they kick my butt. You know, they tell me, hey, this what, you know, you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, get up, you know, you got, you know, this is not you.
Right.
You know, we don't know what's going on, but you need to change.
Yeah.
You know, if I messed up in something, they keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
You know, but to answer your question, you know, yes, you know, the skills that I have acquired in fitness do translate in my life, and they help me a lot. You know, in a lot, and then I'm gonna keep doing it until I die.
That's
You know?
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I want to have that discipline because I mean, you know me very well. Like I have this inconsistency about things that I do.
Yeah.
You know, now you've, and I like that you hold me accountable. At least you try.
Yeah.
You tell me the truth.
Right.
And I think you, Josh, are the two people that tell me the truth about, you know, my ambition and my goals. Obviously, you know my goals, and Josh knows my goals. And you know, I remember Josh saying, because you were gonna buy a third camera. Talked about buying a third camera.
Right.
And Josh said, you know, we won't buy a third camera until you produce at least 10 episodes.
Right.
You know, and I've gotten phone calls from you saying, hey, like you said, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were talking about, you know, some of the projects that I have going on.
Right.
And we discussed what needed to be done, the people that needed to reach out to take the next steps. And, you know, I mentioned it to you just during a regular phone conversation. And the next morning, you sent me a text saying, hey, you were supposed to get X, Y, and Z done yesterday. Did you get it done?
Right.
I was very shocked. I was surprised. I'm like, what? Like, what the hell is this guy my business for?
Right.
But you know what's fun? What's funny is I actually hadn't done the stuff that I had said I was gonna do by that previous day. So what I actually did, you know, I was like, okay, all right. So I actually follow up with the steps that I needed to take because I knew that I needed to report back to you because I wasn't gonna leave your text message. You know, I wanted, you know, so then, and obviously I was gonna respond to you and saying, hey, I didn't do it, because then that just looks bad.
Right.
So I followed up, and so I love that you guys hold me accountable, and you know, you mentioned people who hold you accountable. I think I try at least to kind of also do that.
Right.
But your ambitions, man, it's out of this world. I mean, it's incredible. Like waking up every day at 4 a.m, and you said no matter how you feel, by 4 a.m. you're up. Right. It doesn't matter if you went to bed at 11 p.m. or 2 p.m. By 4 o'clock you're up and you're going about your business. It doesn't matter how you feel. Right. So I found that very, very, very impressive. I mean, what did you get? Like, why fitness? I mean, like, why did you go into this field? Like, was there a reason why you started this journey?
Yeah, I mean, everything starts out. We all have things that we enjoy.
Yeah.
Obviously, soccer was the start of my fitness when I was a kid. You know, for me, I admired people that pull themselves through hardship physically, right? I seen that, I was like, huh, why are you doing that, you know? But then when I see the results, right? When I see what it does for their life, you know, that's what shocked me. And I said, maybe I can do the same thing. You know, like with soccer, right? Let's say for us, since we was kids, some of us, even though some people might deny it, some of us thought we would be pros, right? Me, I knew, like, I had that kind of ambition since I was a kid. So I practiced day in, day out, you know? But then when I realized I couldn't, you know, it was impossible to get there. And I said, how can I stay in fitness, you know, do something that I love, but do something different, right? That's when I started weightlifting, right? You know, so fitness started out when I was very young. I always enjoy, you know, being fit. And plus, where we come from, we really have no choice but to move. You know, you walk to school, that's fitness, right? For what, 30 minutes to an hour. You went to get branches for you to cook. That took like 2, 3, 4, even 5 hours in a day. So we did, to be honest, like, even though, you know, now we choose to do it, we've been doing this since we was kids. At least I've been doing this since I was a kid. You know, so it's kind of like, for me, I look at it something, it started out when I was young, right? I didn't get to realize it until I actually came here in the United States. I said, huh, I actually enjoyed this, right? And then when I came to a realization that I couldn't become a pro, it's unfortunate, but also it was a blessing because it got me to focus on something that I can actually do.
Yeah.
Right? So weightlifting came about. I enjoy weightlifting. And the thing about weightlifting about how people look, right? You look at this bodybuilder, I admire that look. Now a lot of people, you know, they say, oh, that's disgusting, this and that. For me, that's like, oh shit. You can lift weight and look like this? You know, why not? Like, I don't see the problem not looking like that. You know, you feel confident.
Yeah.
You know, you feel better about yourself. Like, even when you walk in the room, you feel powerful just because your stature. You know, that speaks volume. You know, and I feel like, for me, it might be my personal feeling. I feel like when you look better, right? And let's say we comparing somebody who look all right and somebody who looks better in an interview. I guarantee you they might choose a person who look better because they're going to say, oh, he's disciplined, right? That kind of, you know, he's a man or woman of character. You know, that speaks a lot of volume to a lot of people. You know, and I feel like that's very big. You know.
That's a stat.
Uh-huh.
Like, people who are fit will likely get the job more than the...
Already, yeah, fair word. Really? Yeah, man, because you mentioned this to me once too, because you were saying, because obviously we were talking about, because, you know, like I'm not gonna talk my goals, my ambition, whatever, but because it was something I had to do. You said, hey, Bonk, you're gonna be in front of people,
Right.
best in the path you were taking, you're gonna be in front of people a lot, and you said, do you wanna be like, do you wanna be saying, you're gonna stand there with the stomach hanging out and people,
Right.
he goes, like, people will respect you more if you're fit, and it's the truth, man. And like you said, it's that, I believe it. I believe it because, like, unfortunately, we are judged like the first, what is the saying, like, first appearance or first something, first impression, right? Yeah. Like, if you, it's like dressing nice. There are people who say, oh, I don't want to wear a suit.
Right.
Suit makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
A dress shirt and sport jacket makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather go with a t-shirt.
Right.
It's not for me. This.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's not how life works, man. Like first impression is everything. Like, how you look, how you dress, that first impression is key.
Yeah.
So that's so part of the reason why you did it was, because you want to command respect, right? That's
100.
You want to command respect.
100%.
Yeah.
All we want is respect.
Yeah.
That's it. Dig down, whatever you do. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You just want people to respect you.
Yeah.
To actually and acknowledge what you've done and respect that you've done well. That's it.
Why do you think that people don't work out then? Because we like, man, there's like a passage in the Bible that says, like Paul said, that I wanna do the right thing, but I always do the wrong thing. Like I wanna do better, but I choose to do bad instead. And I feel like that sort of you don't have to be religious to
Right.
understand that principle is true.
Right.
Because I want to wake up at 4 in the morning,
Right.
but I don't.
Right.
Like I want to eat salad, but I don't.
Right.
I want to go for a run
Right.
when I wake up or after work, but I don't. I want to, but I don't. Like I want to read that book.
Right.
Like I want to spend the next hour reading a book,
Right.
but I don't. You know what I do instead? I turn on YouTube
Right.
or Netflix.
Right.
And I feel like this is not an isolated incident. I
Right.
feel like the majority of the population can relate to me, right? And there's people like you, man, like 4 in the morning, doesn't matter how I feel, I'm gonna get up and go for a run.
Right.
This. Why do you think that there are so many people like me and less people like you?
Well, not there's some, you gotta have a goal, right? You gotta have something that's driving you, right? A vision. And I think a lot of people don't have that. Because if you don't have a vision or a goal, that means you have no direction. If you don't have no direction, you're just going, you're going around, wandering around, no places to go. That's one. Second of all, having the knowledge, to actually, help you understand what needs to be, help you understand you, right? Because you need to understand yourself first. Understand yourself, know the vision, know your purpose, and you go from there. I think that's what that is. And once you have that down, everything it becomes straightforward. It's going to be hard, but you know what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. I know I got to compete on the 28. Do you really think, I'm not going to work out like today or tomorrow because I don't feel like it? No, that competition is the 28. That's the goal. Like I have to do what I need to do so I can be ready by that date, right? So for me, I look at it as not having a purpose, in life, which is unfortunately a lot of us, it's hard. It's hard to find out unless you really take the time, dig deep, understand yourself. Because you cannot know what you need to do without understanding yourself. You need to sit down and ask, who am I? Why am I here? Questions like those. It's hard questions, but you need to sit down and think deep. I'm still figuring out who I am, right? Not saying I already know this and that, but I know for sure that I'm not gonna give up. I know. Plus, I come from a place where we don't have much money. We had an okay life, but we don't have much, we don't have good, like let's say we had a good life, but we just didn't, have what's it called? Let's say we were broke, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we were broke, right? But I don't want to live like that. I wanna be able to provide for my family.
Yeah.
I wanna give, my kids things I wasn't given to.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the things for me that drive me. Having the tenacity actually to keep pushing forward. And it's really hard. Waking up 4 a.m. every day is hard. But guess what? I practice it day in, day and out for the past 5 years. It becomes easy. And it also comes to habits. Vision. Not having a vision. Without having a vision, no direction, you can't form a habit. Guess what? You're always gonna go to your bad habits. You know, if you when you don't really, when you don't have nothing going to for yourself, you have no hope, right? And that's one of that's just the human spirit, hope. If you're a human, you don't have hope.
You're done.
What are you really doing?
You're done, man.
I think that's what that is. For that just come, that just come from anything, not just fitness. That applies to everything.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
How does one find their purpose? Because I agree with you that if you have a goal, then you have a target if you have a target you're aiming at.
Right.
You're most likely to do what it takes to get there.
Right.
And so you gotta want it enough
Right.
to say, despite any
Right.
obstacles that may come along the way, I have a target that I'm aiming to reach
Right.
at. I mean, how does one? Because you say you wake up at 4 in the morning, you do X, Y, and Z because you have a
Right.
goal. You're competing,
Right.
but this mindset that you're training your mind to have, and something you
Right.
want to pass on to your kids as well, right?
Right.
Of working hard and
Right.
putting yourself through pain to achieve whatever is necessary.
Yeah.
How does one find their purpose?
For me, at least for me, I think it goes back to as a kid. What did you enjoy as a kid? Right? What made you happy the most? Right? For me, it was always fitness. Right? We played a lot with kids. I don't really remember. Like, we used to play hide and seek, and we used to play. It's like a relay track. They call it relay, where you pass on the baton.
Yeah.
But back home, we used to play those games. Like, for me, I used to enjoy them. Right? I enjoyed those game a lot. So I could be wrong, but I think some of us, most people do know what they want to do, but they don't take the time to actually, figuring out, right? So I feel like as a kid, you go back, you sit down, you ask the difficult questions, you look at what did you enjoy as a kid, right? What kind of, like I always go back to this, in a home, what kind of father you had, what kind of mother you had, how did they raise you? Because what you see happening is that they end up passing things, their trauma, their good habit, bad habits to their kids, because that's what you saw. But now you look at things that you enjoy as a kid, right? If you close your eyes, right? Because one day I closed my eyes, right? I saw a memory of me, and then I was laughing because I was having fun. Now I came back to.
Were you remembering a childhood memory?
Yeah.
When you close your eyes, is that what
yeah,
you're doing?
I was remembering when I was running. I was basically running with friends. We were basically playing, and I did play as a kid. I used to go watch. My uncle used to manage a pro team, right, back in Tanzania, right. So he used to take me, and then I had so much fun, right. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the game, and guess what? Some of the guys, I used to practice with them. So for me, I also believe that's where my love of soccer came from.
Yeah.
I used to practice with those guys,
Professionals when you were a kid.
Yeah. Professional, because my uncle was the manager.
Yeah.
And then my uncle, actually, to be honest, was the biggest. He was one of the biggest supporters when I played soccer. He said, "You were good. You could have made it far." He the one who believed in me. So I didn't want to let him down, to be honest. I did not want to let him down. And then even though, I did kind of let him down, I felt some type of way about that. But I did forgive myself, and I tell him, hey, it's hard. I didn't know what to do. I stopped.
When did you let him down?
When I couldn't fulfill, my
professional?
dream. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's what I laid down. I was very disappointed in myself, and I was hurt. Because imagine wanting something to happen for so long, and you putting so much work, but you don't get to do it. That's big. You know what I'm saying? That's extremely big. And most of us, we don't, sometimes we say it is what it is, never meant to be. How do you know? Because if you don't really put enough effort, if you don't really go for it, how do you know? But anyways, purpose, like I said, for me, you go back, to answer your question, I feel like you got to go back as a kid to what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And see if you're still doing that same thing. And see if you went back and see if you did it right now, see if you enjoy it. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something you can learn.
Yeah.
And they try new things too. Being around people, you want to build good habits. Build good habits. Do the hard things first. Because life is, at the beginning, life is always hard. I always remember this though, like one of my, the guy I listened to, you know him too. he's actually he's he's Joshua Simon. Right?
Joshua Salmon.
Right? So
Apostle,
so Apostle Simon,
Apostle
right?
Salmon.
He always
You
said,
know you put me onto him.
yeah, he
And
always.
you know what I like about his sermons is the
Yeah.
background music.
It's nice. It touches you, right?
Yeah. It's
My
the
whole,
background music.
what he said really stuck with me out. He said, nobody believe in your vision at the beginning, right? Nobody cares, right? Until you put in the time to work for it, and then show them you're meant to be there. Nobody believes in you. You know, that always sticks with me.
Yeah.
So to go to a point to find your purpose, you need to put in the work. You need to put in the work. You just have to have one person believe in you, and you got to believe in yourself and go for it. And nothing is guaranteed here, right? But you got to put in the work and believe that it is going to work. You know, you got to force yourself to be consistent. You know, consistency is hard, right? Practice the little things, because God is not going to give you no mansion if you can't manage your apartment. You know, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I like that.
You know, doesn't really make any sense. You know, because he's setting yourself for failure. He will not set you up for failure. You have to be able to clean your bedroom. You have to be able to clean your house. You have to be able to clean yourself before he can give you something bigger to clean.
There's a Bible passage that says that if you're not faithful in the little, you can't be faithful in the big, the large. I think that kind of goes to what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
You gotta. He has to trust you with the little stuff before he gives you the big stuff. Because if you can't manage the little stuff, you can't manage the big stuff.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool.
What is finished?
So what is it like a phone? Do you drink that a whole day? Like how many of those do you go through a day?
Oh, I go through 4 of them. That's 2 gallons a day. Yeah. Gotta stay hydrated, buddy.
How often do you wake up in the middle of the night? How often do you wake up in the middle of the night?
Well, nowadays, probably once. I used to wake up like 2 or 3, but it slows down.
My bladder would be screaming. If I drink one of those,
Start
I would
start
be
small and you work your way up.
Yeah.
You're not going to drink 2 gallons right night, no.
Yeah. So, man, again, very impressive about just your discipline, man. Your discipline it's crazy. It's everything, man. I admire it, and I tried to replicate it. I failed miserably, as you know. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't doing that. But listen, I been to your apartment before. Obviously, you moved and got a beautiful house now.
Right.
But one of the things that I noticed, and maybe I brought it up before, is how you measure your food, man. Like, you got a scale.
Right.
You got a freaking scale.
Of course, bro.
You go to the fridge, you take out like cereal, you gotta measure the cereal. You
Right.
take out eggs, you gotta measure the eggs. Bro,
Right.
what the hell is that, bro? Because for me, I found that very disturbing. Like, why do you measure your food? What's the point of measuring food?
Again, vision go. That's in order for me to get my purpose, I gotta measure my food. It's that simple, right? Eating healthy. In order for me to get where I need to be, I need to eat healthy. I need to measure the portions I'm eating. It's pretty simple, right? There's nothing extraordinary about it. You just need to know where you're going. When you know where you're going, who's gonna stop you? Right?
So I'm naive, or like my knowledge of food is very limited, right? So obviously you're a health coach and personal trainer and bodybuilder, right?
Right.
There's like how many? Because there's protein. How many categories of food are there?
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, there is like there's macros and there's carbs.
Carbs, yeah.
You know, which is like rice, bread.
Yeah.
You know, there's fats, which is like oil, butter. What are cheese? There's protein. There's those are the 3 main categories, and everything just fits in there. Protein, chicken, red meat, salmon, stuff like that. But those are the 3 main categories, and then also there's other category like vitamins, and minerals. Where your iron, omega, what is fish oil. There's a lot of vitamins out there, or multivitamins, all that stuff. That those are the other stuff that your body needs, electrolytes, to sustain. People don't understand that, like, you need to, some people, I think what happens is when it comes to food, right? They eat like there's no tomorrow, which I get. Some of us we come from hunger backgrounds, which I understand. But you also gotta understand what you're putting in your stomach. Like, even the Bible said, you know what I'm saying? The pot can kill, right? Me personally, the way I viewed that, knowing that what is going in you, what you're feeling in your body, you cook, right? Now, what you feel in your body can kill you. If you eat too much, that can kill you. If you eat too little,
I
that
think
can
it's also
kill
a
you.
sin to eat too
You know
much.
what I'm saying?
It's a
Yes.
sin too. What is it called?
Overeating.
What is it called?
Gluttony.
What is it?
Is it blasphemy?
What is that? Some stuff like
Some
that.
stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah.
I think you know what it is. I think that's the big. If eating too much is a sin, overeating is a sin. I think that's America. That's the biggest crime Americans committing, bro. I'm lying. Because you know what I'm saying, bro. Like,
there's some people they can eat so much that they
you know what
still
I'm
can
saying,
eat
bro.
more. So
if eating too much is a sin, biblically speaking, then that's the biggest crime people are committing in this country. I mean, a lot of sins happening, but that's gonna be number one.
Right.
Top two for sure.
Well, some people, some people,
We're a sinner, bro. We're a sinner.
right?
You and I, we're a sinner.
Top two, maybe not two. Top two. You know what I'm saying?
So most people they eat, right? Like my thing is like when you look at food, right? Some people will live to eat, right?
People live to eat.
So they live to eat, right? You're supposed to fill your body and live, right? That's but people do it the opposite, right? So that's the thing about it. You gotta use food as source of your energy.
So you saying some purpose in life is to eat?
Well, I'm just saying.
That's what you say?
I'm saying personally, when it comes to food,
Yeah.
People, you gotta understand. You eat, the reason why we need food, right, is to actually do what we need to do on a daily basis, right? To breathing needs energy, bro. That comes from food. Sleeping needs energy. That comes from food. What all the things that you do, they all need some sort of energy, which comes from food. When you don't understand that concept, it's a bit difficult for you to grasp, how food is that important. People say, "Oh, I gotta eat." Cool, we all have to eat, but your body doesn't need that much food. And sometimes, like I said, you can have fun, this and that. That's why. Look, why do you think when you eat too much, your body start reacting? You're not yourself. You're tired. You're sluggish. You ate too much. Your body's telling you, my friend. Please.
Some of this would be too good, bro.
Of course, but you need.
Like a buffalo chicken.
It's called control yourself.
A buffalo chicken.
Control, and it comes from.
You know what I'm saying?
It comes from habits, and it's all habits related. You gotta build these habits that when like for me, after the show, I'm gonna eat. Do you think I'm gonna control myself? Probably not. But I'm trying to put things in place so I can control myself. Most likely I might fail, but I still believe that there will be, something like right. For example, right now after my show, I want to drink maybe 2 liters, or like a half gallon before I can start eating.
Have you got on about water?
Yeah, right after the show, because I'm gonna be very thirsty, and then trying to limit my sweets, right? Because when you haven't ate that food in a long time, your body craves it. Your body craves it a lot, and then you can't stop eating because you're hungry, and you don't know that you're hungry. You don't know that you're full because your body just keep burning that fuel over and over and over, and then the next day you feel sluggish. You feel like something happened to your body. So it's all about controlling, man. Controlling yourself, control your emotions, control what you do in life. You know, everything that you can control. If you can, leave it to God. You know, that's it, man.
I saw you. We went out after your last competition.
That shit was good, man.
Sure. So, bro, and I saw
That was
you.
good.
You ordered what kind of pizza did you? You had a whole pie of pizza.
Yeah, man.
Was it buffalo pizza? What were you selling?
Chicken.
Chicken pizza, whatever, bro.
Chicken. What was it? Chicken ranch.
Chicken bacon range.
There you go. That's the one.
Chicken bacon
That's my
ranch.
favorite pizza, man.
You eat bacon, huh?
Huh?
Your papa know you eat bacon?
Well, I eat it, man. You know, I eat bacon, man.
I love it too, man.
know.
I love it. No judging, man.
I eat it, man. It's good. It's, you know, I don't eat it every day, but after the shows, and I don't normally eat pizza, but after the shows, oh man.
Anyways, the point that I try to make is like, cause I was measuring it, so you gotta measure whatever. Anyways, I saw you at the competition. We went out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You had a large pie of
Pizza,
you know, chicken bacon range. You had a whole pie, man, and you cleaned in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You cleaned in 2 minutes, and I said,
Yeah.
well, I can't say what I said, but I said, you know,
This is it.
I said this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, you get the point.
I get
I you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get myself in trouble, but you guys get me in trouble.
Hey, Nate.
Nate, I really do.
Yeah.
My parents are good black folks.
Yeah.
But listen, and I said to myself, like, I said, this guy's hungry. You said this, this dude is hungry. Why has he been starving himself? The way I saw it, my empathetic side can, you know, tell to myself, man, dude, my boy has been struggling, man.
Right.
He's eating like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you do reward yourself after the show. So you know, so like obviously you work out every day, but sometimes you have cheat days, right? How many cheat days do you have?
I do not. I'm on prep. I'm prep. I do not have cheat day unless my coach tells me to.
Yeah. You have a coach.
Yeah. We all need guidance.
So you're a personal trainer to people, but you also have a personal trainer.
Yes. Everybody need guidance.
So a teacher also is a teacher.
Yes. You can never be too old to seek counsel, my brother.
I like that.
You know, we all need guidance. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how advanced you are.
Yeah.
That's why they have consult. What do you call it? Consults.
It is a counsel.
Yeah.
I think there's a Bible verse too in the book of Proverbs that a wise man surrounds himself with counsel or you know, adheres to
you can never be too expert of anything.
Right.
You always can learn something from even a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, obviously, you know, you talk about different type of foods you eat, or you know, carbs, proteins, fats, you know, all these electrolytes, whatever, right? So that takes a lot of knowledge, man. And people like us, people like me, if I like it, I'ma eat it.
Right.
You know, I'ma eat it. I don't read the labels. I don't measure. I don't scale. I'ma eat it, right? But I want to talk to you about our type of foods, right? Because you're from Burundi, Tanzania, from Congo. You know, we have similar foods, man. Mutsima, you know, the way we cook our chicken or soup, you know, beans, you know, rice, you know, potatoes, whatever. We have more or less same diet.
They were the same.
Right, same diet, right? You know, so same background. Our parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Our mothers, our people in general. You know, when we were back home in Africa, obviously because of the work that we did, working on the farms, whatever, our mothers or sisters or parents, we walk every day to the farms back and forth. Right. And it really didn't matter about the types of food we consumed. Because we were always exercising every day without even knowing. Just our lifestyle allowed us to be fit. Right. Now we come here where everybody has a car, and the diet hasn't changed. In fact, the diet has gotten worse because of the food in this country, especially the food in this country is how many? I mean, I think most of the food we consume is not organic.
Right.
Organic is very expensive, as you know,
Right.
right? So most of these foods we got to sort of buy chickens or
Right.
the beef we buy.
Right.
These animals have been fed
Right.
hormones
Right.
to grow.
Yeah.
They're genetically
GMO,
modified, GMOs, you know, whatever. They're genetically modified, so
Yeah.
it's not really natural. And I think those chemicals, if that's the right word,
Right.
you know, I don't know how healthy they are.
Right.
And of course, we continue to consume
Right.
a diet
Right.
that is worse than the diet we had, and we are exercising less, which is
Right.
why, if you see, you know, parents, you know, in their 50s, 60s,
Right.
many of them are not fit anymore.
Right.
Can you, and I'm a big fan of the food that we, you know, Mutsim, I'm still a big fan,
Right.
you know. Can you tell me about these foods that we consume, this diet that we consume? What is the pros and cons about the diet that you know we consume?
I mean, it can be. First, you just said it. Foods from here, the genetically modified, right? Back home, food are very natural. It will move a lot, right? Also, back home, the problem is that they fried a lot of food. You know, frying food, it takes away the vitamins, right? So you gotta understand, like, the food has vitamins that people need, right? It's all about vitamins. You know, the source, like, you know, for example, let's say you fry your chicken, you bread it, right? So that oil itself, like, you kind of defeating the purpose of its purpose. Okay, you eat it, but it's gonna taste good, but you're not gonna get the macronutrient that you actually need. You know, it's gonna be with grease. You're gonna get a lot of fat. You know, that is not good for you. You know, so that's the biggest thing when it comes to our people. They fry their food a lot, and that's a thing. One of the problem, and then they're not with them. It's like, I don't. When it comes to our parents, it's like they're stuck to their old ways. You can't really tell them anything, and it because they're their kid. I don't think they're gonna respect what you're saying. You know, because they don't see you as such. They don't give you the high regards as or as a son, as a daughter that you know what you're talking about, and that's one of the problems. So when you say certain things to them, they will say something like, "You're just a kid. You don't know what you're talking about." Right? They kind of like belittle you in a way because they're stuck to their old ways, their mindsets. So for me, what had to happen is I have to remove myself from eating, you know, my mom's food, my mom's cooking. Also,
Really?
it was good,
Do you not? So
but it was a sacrifice I had to make from in pursuit of my purpose. Again, it goes back to goals and purpose. It goes back to a purpose. You know, I had to sacrifice that, and I had to explain to my mom, I can't eat this stuff anymore.
when is the last time you ate your mom's cooking?
Probably like 7, 8 years ago.
That's the last time you ate your mom's food
I have not ate her food.
in 8 years.
Yeah, because the way and then also for some reason, every time I ate her food, I always get some chest pain, like the fried food that she cooked. So I got that, and then when I went to the doctor, they said you have no chest pain. So I did it for like 2 weeks where I tested out. Every day I ate her food, some sort I had a chest pain. My breathing was not okay. You know, it's like every time I would breathe and I had to hold, you know, my breath because I would be in pain and then release it slowly. And I talked to my mom about that. Obviously, she didn't really care, you know, because she kept cooking the same food, right? So I had to remove myself, start cooking for myself. And then that's me basically kind of, you know, going, you know, my way of living a healthy life, you know.
Yeah.
But like the other thing is that, okay, coming here, you mentioned it. We eat the same food, basically the worst of food because they already modified, right? And then we're not moving. That's deadly, right? That's very deadly. At least if you're moving, you know what I'm saying? You can compensate, but you're not compensating anything. That's why some of our parents right now, they're having gout, right? They're having pain that they never felt before.
Back issues.
You know, back
big
issue,
gut.
knee pain, or all this stuff. Because back home they used to move, and guess what? They're becoming old. They're becoming vulnerable every day.
Yeah.
And that's say eat healthy. They're not gonna care.
Yeah.
You know, because guess what? They're stuck into their own mindsets. They start, okay, this food, groove me.
Yeah.
It brought me to be here, this and that. So they say, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you. Personally for me, I want to live a healthy, long life. But to answer your question, it's very difficult, to choose certain food. Like even the food that I eat sometimes, let's say, like you said, the organic food are very expensive.
Man,
now.
Yeah.
When I can't choose, most of the time I eat very natural food and organic food, which is I have to spend a lot of money. Now sometimes I say, this is too much. You know what? Let me substitute with something else, right? Then I just buy, some sort of other food that is already modified, but I don't fry it. I usually bake it, at least, to compensate. At least my head is thinking I'm compensating whatever. Maybe it might be a placebo, but at least mentally,
right.
I believe that it's working.
Yeah.
And then plus I move a lot. So I'm not worried about it. I do exercise a lot. So that kind of say, okay, it puts me at peace mentally. You say, you're doing all right. Even if you're going to eat this once, you should be fine.
Yeah.
When you do something once, it's fine. But when you're consistently doing it, it becomes a habit. When it becomes a habit, it becomes you. When it becomes you,
it becomes a normal day routine.
Normal, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It becomes accepted. Even if it's a bad thing, you accept that that's who you are.
Yeah.
And
I have to go back and clarify. I mean, you said that your mom's food gives you pain. I have to say that it's because your body is used to clean eating, to clean the food. Because I'm sure that I would tear apart your mom's food. I'm sure that it's
of course you
very,
would.
very delicious. But because you're used to clean eating, that's sort of your body rejecting, foreign agent sort of, right?
That was
kind of what it
before,
is?
but that was before though. I started like even in high school, I started to eat healthy then, but I didn't have money to buy my own food.
You were fat in high school.
You know what I'm saying?
You were fat in high school.
I wouldn't say I was fat, right? I would say that like with people in regular my age, I was bigger, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like you can say I had a stomach. Yes, it was there, and then you can also say you can also say that like okay, like to be honest though, I'm honest with myself. If you say I'm fat, then for you can say I was fat. By my perspective, I acknowledged that I was big, right? And also, I have broad hips, right? If you know broad hips, like we need people that play soccer, they tend to have broad hips. My broad hips were big, were very big, right? But just the only thing, that I can say is like it was very,
You gotta think you're a baddie, bro.
Huh?
Thinking you're a baddie.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, he believes a lot of things. But hey, who am I to tell him what?
That's not what I'm saying.
Who am I to tell him what he believes is wrong? It's all right.
No,
but that's what he believes, right? It's about what I believe.
You gotta say no post. This nigga said no post.
For what?
You say
For what? Like we're not in that kind of like.
No, good.
About Spain, man.
But like I said, in high school though, like that's when I acknowledged I needed. That's why I always work harder. We're running. I ran harder, but my food didn't change. That was the problem. Like my exercise increased, my food stayed the same. But like I said, this time where my mom's cooking started giving heart pain. I got to realize that because I think he used to, but I didn't pay attention to it. But when I start self-conscious, self-aware of myself, I start to look at what I eat every day and how I train because my body image became something I started focusing on a lot. That's how I find out that my mom's food was causing this much trouble. I can't blame her. No, I can never do that because she's my mom. She took care of me, right? But I had to make a decision. Do I want to stay this way for the next 10, 15 years, or do I want to change? That's when I made the change.
When is the last time you Mutima?
Like I said, I don't like that thing anyways.
You don't
Like,
like
I
him
never
so,
really, no, I never,
growing up with the-
I never
that's what it
really,
is, you,
no,
bro.
I never was a fan. I just, like, without the good soup, it's practically nothing.
So Mutima and soup, chicken soup, you have not had it in a while?
I haven't ate that probably in 10, even back home. I
What about-
rarely eat it. Even when they had it, I rarely eat it.
What about sombe?
Somebody, I like that one.
When
But
is the time you had it?
it depends on high school. When I went to North Carolina to my sister's, she cooks it a lot. So every time I go there, she cooks it, so I eat that.
Bro, you gotta come back home, bro. You gotta come back home, bro.
Why me come back home?
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? When you during your cheat days, you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's other food you can eat.
Biscuit.
There
Yeah,
you
I'm
go.
saying,
We're gonna eat Biscoff, you know.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, when I go to my sister's,
Yeah.
when I go to my sister's house, she know what kind of food that I eat, so she kind of make it like home like. You know, she make it, friendly. You know, she doesn't fry them. You know, she understands what I eat. So, even fufu, when I went there, I ate it because the soup was correct. It tastes good. But I'm not a fan of fufu, man. I was never a fan of fufu. Now I'm a fan of rice.
Yeah.
Shit. What? Rice? Even back home, we fought for rice, man.
Yeah.
You mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's it.
Yeah. Man, so like, man, this like warrior mindset. You have a Facebook page called Warrior.
Yeah.
Fit Warrior.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can do I feel like you haven't fully maximized
Right.
your potential as far as influencing people,
Right.
right? And because like you go to YouTube, there's David Goggins or these motivational speakers, right? Who always say like, are you in a dark place? Good. Because you share that to me. Is life beating you up? Good. Are you in a financial hardship? Good. Did your girlfriend leave you? Did your wife divorce you?
Right.
That's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's always like they are giving you life advice or they're motivating you.
Right.
And usually, I don't know why, but the background is usually somebody working out or somebody jogging in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? And they're telling you how effed up life is,
Right.
and how life is not fair, and how it's up to you. This. When I watch that, I don't watch it. Once in a while, I do need that motivation, and I watch it.
Right.
Every time I see it, it reminds me of you.
Right.
And I feel like you can capitalize on that, man. Because I love that. It really is the lifestyle.
Right.
It's like, okay, you train your mind to wake up at 4 in the morning no matter what. Right? You train your mind to train twice a day no matter what.
Right.
Doesn't matter if somebody passed on or whatever, you have to be there at 4 in the morning.
Right.
Like, no excuse. And I've gotten in trouble with you, right? Where like like I say, man, I got this going on at this time. You're like, no, I'm not gonna miss my gym for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I admire that for sure.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like sometimes when people see your workouts on Instagram, they just see it for that.
Right.
And I feel like people miss the point, because for you, it's not just a workout. It's not just that you are physically fit.
Right.
It's the discipline, which can, which is much, it's a lifestyle
Right.
that you don't necessarily have to be in the gym working out, but the values that you're instilling in people
Right.
can be applicable in other areas. And I feel
Right.
like you haven't really
Right.
capitalized on that message
Right.
to say, hey, it's not just me working out.
Right.
This is what I'm trying to teach
Right.
you, who's following me. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, it is. And also, like, these things for me, this thing takes time, And then for me personally, I'm not the kind of guy to do it for that. Because I don't think if that comes, I'm going to accept it, right?
Yeah.
That's what's coming with it. Mm-hmm. But my whole purpose is not to say, okay, I'm doing this to get that. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for my family. If I can come to my family and say, hey, teach them, educate them about health, and they change their life, I'm happy, right? If I can, if a stranger gets motivation for my, for my workouts, stuff like that, good for them, right? They're doing it for them. They're not doing it for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when that time comes, right, I will capitalize, right? But also for me, I'm not comfortable putting my, personal life out there. I'm a very private person,
Yes. Yeah, you
right?
are.
I'm a very private person, and even me doing this, it's not really comfortable for me. I'm not that guy. I like to be a guy who mind his own business, who do what he does, who take care, who do his duty. As a man, to take care of his own. That's
Right.
it. But you're right though. I haven't really done it because I'm not looking at it that way. If I looked at it that way, yeah, I'll be posting every day, trying to tell people this, and that. And also, it's like sometimes I look at it as like begging. Maybe that's the wrong perspective for me to look at as me posting this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's like I'm begging you to, to either me to train you or for you to change your life. Why would I want to do that?
Right.
If you don't want to change your life, that's your freaking business. I don't care.
Right.
But now if you want to change your life and you need help, and I can give you that help, why not? I'm all for it.
Right.
But I take, everything will unfold when the time is right.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing anything. I'm going to post just to show people this what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not that, I don't want you to think I'm posting this for me to get this. I said, no, not really. Yeah. I'm not the kind of guy, I don't really seek acknowledgement from people I don't know. Even people that I do know still don't seek, their acknowledgement. I just don't think like that.
Yeah.
Now, if I can assist you in anything when it comes to fitness or in your life, let me. I'll definitely do my best to assist you.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And then for me, I feel like there's a lot of people, even for example, my coach, he's not active on social media, but he has helped over 100, 200 people change their life, right? But he's not on social media. He's not active. He doesn't post, oh, do this workout, this is the technique, this and that. He doesn't do that because he built his value, right? When you build your value, people will follow. That's what I'm focusing on right now, building my value. If my value going to take me to heights, then we're going to go for it. If guys say, I want you to do this, I'm going to follow. If I have to be in front of the camera, if that's part of my purpose, I'm going to do it. But if I don't have to be in front of the camera and still reach my purpose, well, why not? That's how I look at it.
I do know that you're a very private person.
Yeah.
Very, very private. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We're nearing going towards the end of the episode. So, but before we go, I have a last question to ask, and then I'll kind of dig deep into our friendship. Not dig deep, but kind of ask you about some of our inside jokes that we share.
I'm not answering this. Man. I'm not. No.
But before we go to that, man, just what is one message, right? Obviously, what is it now? You're 28 now, right?
Yeah.
What is one thing you have learned about life that you could share with somebody who's maybe younger or same age as you, older? What is one thing you've learned about life in general that you think you can pass on to somebody who wants to not be like you, but find their purpose? Because obviously you found your purpose. You have a goal, which is to train every day, no matter what, and that it's a lifestyle you created, right? And it's got multiple layers, right? So you're doing very well compared to the average person, right? So maybe it doesn't have to be about fitness, but what have you learned about life that you can pass on to anybody who's listening?
Well, I would say this. I would say some people say don't force things, and I believe that. But this one, you need to force it. Force yourself to be consistent. Consistency is not going to come out of nowhere. You're not going to but force yourself to be consistent. If you know yourself, if you know your purpose, it's not easy if you're not consistent with anything. So force yourself to be consistent. Force yourself to know yourself. Force yourself to be aware of your surroundings. force yourself to set up standards. Literally force yourself to self-development. Be consistent at anything. And then you go, who knows that, that's just the beginning. Then you're going to see that the little consistent is going to compound over time.
Right.
And then that's how you actually acknowledge, oh shit,
Yeah.
I didn't know these small steps can actually make this dramatic change.
Yeah.
So force yourself to be consistent at anything. That's all. Yeah. Brother, John Bosco.
So yeah, man, thank you for being here. But before we go, I want to know if you have you been?
No. No, man.
I want to know if you've ever been to South Africa before. I just want to know.
No, I have not. I have not. I would like to go there, but I have not.
AKA Johannesburg.
I don't know that place. I have not been. Oh, this guy is stupid. I have not. Oh, yeah, man. That's it.
Brother. So wait, this is an inside joke. Let's talk about Aries Spears a little bit, man.
No, man. Bro, the guy's funny. The guy's sexual, bro.
Well, you put me on this guy,
Well,
Aries Spears, man,
well,
and
yes.
you know what I mean. And you and I was enough about the Nate situation. Can you tell the audience about the Nate situation?
Bro, I'm not doing it. Well, if people want to find out, they can go on YouTube and search for Aries Spear. And then they can actually, because I'm not good at articulating situation and explaining that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that for them.
Yeah.
You want Nate. Come on, man. Dude, straight up to YouTube, search Aries Spear, then they go understand what we're talking about.
I don't know why. Like you and I found the same things funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like this is your space. So
Josh, get your guy, man.
No, but listen though. So just every time you're left about it, I'm gonna tell you about it. So, anyways, so Aries Spears says that when he was a kid, he used to have a best friend who was white.
Right. Right.
And his name was Nate. And so he said, little Nate used to come to my house, when we were growing up. And the point that he was trying to make was, he was saying, white people, why don't y'all be a kid? Why don't y'all be a kid? Like I'm touring and I'm watching Dr. Phil and I'm seeing this white kids that are out of hand.
Right.
Why don't you beat your kids? So I said, I used to have this little brother named Nate, right?
Right.
So Nate would come to my house, and he said one day they were playing video games, and Aries Spears' mom came in a room, and said, how many times did I tell you to go to this room?
Yeah.
If you don't clean this room, I'm gonna take that Nintendo cord. I'm gonna stick up. You know what? And he said, this is not a threat. This is a promise. Try me, man. And so he said, little Ned said, dude. She can't do that. She can't do that, you know. And anyway, continue the story.
I'm not doing this is you, man. This is you.
Every single time you and I watch that show, like I remember we were hanging out at your house. We put that out. And we laughed for the whole night, right? What about the Kobe situation?
I mean, dude, that's for me. I look at that as time for time for laughter, man. It's that's key.
Yeah.
For me, even though we laugh at the same time, it's those are quality time you're gonna remember.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna remember.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to talk about the situation. Me personally, is the situation between me and you, which is special, right?
Yeah.
So they don't need to know.
Yeah.
Now you put it out there, that's on you and accord. But at the end of the day, for me, I feel like, you know, those are me and you, right? And it's, I get it, I understand.
I'm
Right?
gonna ask you one thing to leave because people won't know it. But there's a thing he made how when he said like Africans don't know how to approach African American women. Do you think that's true?
Well, if I had to speak from my own experience and observation, I believe so because we come from different cultures, right? Most of us, we tend to be very aggressive, right? Especially on anything, especially when we don't understand certain things. Why? Because that's what we seen when we was kids. Our dads are very aggressive with you know, with our moms. You know, they're aggressive with everything. So we approach the same situation the same way. And guess what? We demanded that we get it. You know, I mean, talking to women from here, like for me, I was not as aggressive, but I can still sense that there's aggression in my words, right? My tone, you know, and it was difficult. You know, it was very difficult, you know, to actually approach somebody who come here because they have their own mind, right? They speak a certain way, you know, so you need to come correct. You know, when you don't come correct, that kind of like you look weird. You know what I'm saying? You look very it's very unusual.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna represent your people in a bad way. You know, but like I say, you know, it's all come from, you know, you not being aware of your emotions, not knowing what to do, not being taught to behave this way when you're around certain people. That's what that is, you know. But I believe on some level there's the truth. He was right.
Well, I think that's why you and I like it. The reason I wanted to go in deep into it is like obviously it's hard to replicate it when you know it's inside jokes. But the reason why I think you and I like it is because it's truth.
Yes.
There's a lot of truth to it.
Right.
You know, like he said, like he was talking about how like African men like they expect their wives to do everything.
Right.
You know, say I don't want to say the word, but the B word. When I come home,
right,
you better.
Right.
I don't. You say I don't. It is. Yeah. You say I don't know why they do that. You know, like some of that stuff is true, and I think that's why you and I like laugh about it because we
know it's true.
We see some truth to it.
We've seen it, and we also lived it. You know, we understand.
Right.
You know, we understand the guy, so it's like we laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice, man. It's funny.
Yeah.
But now we can't behave like that.
Yeah.
You know, we have adapted way too much. Like, I mean, it's good, I believe, you know. Now we know most of us know how to approach women.
That's why, like, I don't know. I think when our production manager, when we advance, I think what we want to do in the future is to, like, just play these videos and react to it.
Yeah.
Because I love comedy, man. I love comedy because they tell the truth and they don't care.
Yeah.
And they, like...
to make people laugh.
Exactly. I know, like, this whole cancel culture thing was trying to, like, in some... I'm glad the comedy survived because cancel culture was just... I think that was very... It was the sector that was threatened.
Yeah.
So I love that they tell the truth. And because what I want to do is eventually just play some of those videos and then we can react to it and make comments to it.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing I feel like we have in life is a smile, you know, laughing.
Sense of humor.
That gives a human spirit power. It gives hope. Even when you're struggling, you see other people laughing. That might, you know, even smiling, you know, people, you might save somebody's life.
Right.
You know, it's hard to really, you know, to really cancel that. It's really hard. You know? And I think the moment that we all stop laughing, the moment we stop smiling, you know, that's over. You know, that's over for the human race.
Right.
So as long as there are people out there that are willing to make people laugh, to shine light on other people's darknesses, and I think we're gonna survive for a really long time.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that. You know, so this nonsense, whatever they wanna call it, hey, to each their own, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to take over the world, go right ahead. But there's a lot of things they won't be able to accomplish.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things they won't be able to accomplish. You know, and hey, like I said, they tryna look for a space for them in the world and some shit. Like they wanna look, you know, somewhere they belong.
Yeah.
Right? Let them be. You know, but hey, laughter is important though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. You know,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
It's a pleasure, man.
Always, buddy.
We'll be in
Always. Always.
And keep being you, keep doing your thing, keep inspiring us to improve our lifestyles. Yeah.
Thank you for having us, man. I had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, can do this again in the future when I make it big.
Absolutely.
You know, it would be nice.
Absolutely.
You know.
All right, man. We'll be in touch, man. Thanks.
All right, brother, man.
Absolutely.